Hello everybody, how you doing? Wee Paddy from across the shuck. And happy Sunday to everybody. Um, this is a video, I'm sitting looking down at these two knives, and this is a video I never thought I would ever be making. When I started, I was very budget and very wary of getting into buying more expensive knives. Now, these are both not my knives. That is my knife, the Medford, as we all know. I got that when I got a wee bit of money last year. This is from Al over at Everyday Legal Carry Knives. And Al's a hard-working man, saves up and gets the knives he wants. And he's starting, like myself, we're building a collection of better quality knives. More expensive knives. They're not always better quality, but we're getting more expensive knives. And it's lovely to grow with somebody and see what they're getting. In fact, I had this last week. This is a lot of money I find to lie about in my collection. Because I'm a reviewer as well as a collector, this was a lot of money. So on Instagram last week, I put this up that I was thinking of selling it to see if I could get any interest. Because I wanted to buy a Chris Reeve. I'd never handled a Chris Reeve, just as I'd never handled a Medford, but I thought, right, I don't want to go through my whole knife career and not handle one. Then Al had got this one a few weeks ago. Little did I know that he was going to put it in the pass-around group. I don't like him for that, but I like him in other ways because it means I get to look. This is the first time I'd ever touched a Chris Reeve, ever felt one, so I wanted to compare it against my Medford. And let me say, this is not a my knife's better than your knife review. It's just not. It's just a review of two really, really good knives. And I'm just so glad to get one in hand. I'm not selling this anymore, but by gosh, am I glad I got to see this. And that's not saying that that's any better, because it's not. But getting to touch something always makes a difference. I want one of these, but I'm not selling this anymore. So let's go on with it. Let's just get straight into the review, and we'll talk about some of the similarities, some of the things that are different about it. I'm going to start with the Chris Reeve, because this is just, the fact that Al sent this over is just amazing. It's very trusting of somebody to send this much knife, and Slick Slicers does the same. The three of us pass knives about. So this is the Insingo, the large Insingo, and this is the one that has the really huge big brass washers in there, or copper washers I should say. Really lovely knife. Anodized blue thumb studs, and you know, you hear about them being talked about, and they do come to a point. The blade shape is just beautiful. That drop point is just beautiful. Beautifully ground blade, comes down to a really nice thin edge. The grind is perfect all the way along. It's just a solid slab of titanium, much like my Medford, but it's chamfered better, I would say, probably than the Medford, but it's really, really nice. The lanyard at the back, it really is. There's only a few screws to take it apart. The pocket clip I absolutely love, much better than the Medford, but we'll talk about that when I go through the Medford. It's a frame lock. It goes across about 75%, but that's a Chris Reeve knives. It'll never move from there. It'll just stay there, completely solidly lock up. There is no movement whatsoever, up, down, sideways. You couldn't force movement, I don't believe, in that knife. Not that I'd want to. The disengagement is perfect. Perfect way to disengage. The action that everybody talked about was just true. You know, it's simple. It's just true. It's not a drop shotty knife. The only thing I'm not over keen is these thumb studs. I ended up doing it with just two fingers on either side, but that hydraulic feeling into that close is just really, really nice. You can nearly feel the precision that it takes to make that knife just on opening it and closing it. This is not a flick open knife. It's not a knife that I'd really want to flick open, much like that one there. It's not a flick open knife, but this is lovely. The jimping on the back here is absolutely perfect. I'm not sure what this little divot is. There's a little divot there. Can you see it just in front? I'm not sure why that's there, but there's a beautiful crown spine, and it comes down to a really sturdy working tip. I mean, this is a work knife. It was built to work, and I have no doubt you could do anything with this knife that you can do with any other knife in that market, and this will carry it out with aplomb. It sounds that little, just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. In hand, it is really comfortable hand. Is it the most comfortable knife I've ever had? No, it's not the most comfortable knife, but I believe, much like that Medford, which is not the most comfortable, I believe I could work all day without gloves, and I don't think I would get any hot spots that were going to irritate me. Really, really nice. So let's put them together and we'll just see. Are they the same size? No, it's a bit bigger. Let's measure them together. Let's do the measurements and we'll just see what the difference is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 1/4, and the Medford's just under 8. So the EXCLUSION is a bit bigger, but the difference that I noticed straight away was the thinness. This is nearly a scale. Let me just drop this down here to just show you the difference. Sorry again, I just want to show you the difference of these butt to butt together. Do you see just how much thinner? Look how much thinner. Now that's the clip there. Let me just do that for you. Look how much thinner that Medford is. Everybody talks about Medfords being these big lumps of titanium. They're not all anymore. He makes a really thin knife. Really thin knife. It's a bit broader, but that gives the grip. That makes the grip just as comfortable as the EXCLUSION. You know, when the knife is open, and it's got a lovely lockup, just like this EXCLUSION has a beautiful lockup, lovely sound. This is more of a thunk than this is a refined, if you like. It's a bit like the Lady and the Tramp, these two. I was trying to think of a way to explain it. It's a bit like the Lady and the Tramp, but by no means putting the Medford down. But it is different. And the other thing about the Medford, the opening, when you're opening a Medford, there wasn't enough put in there. You can open it easy enough, but you have to jam your thumb in. It has a beautiful, now it doesn't have that ting when it closes, but when it opens up, it's a solid closure. Now, the pocket clip on the Medford looks lovely, but I just don't like it whatsoever. It's loose, it doesn't really grip. I would nearly, if I'm going to be moving up and down and I'm outside the house, I would just drop the whole knife into my pocket, because I'm not sure the retention on that would be good enough. It doesn't touch the bottom, and it's just not great. But that's the only real fault. The blade shapes, they're both hollow grounds. They both come down to a really nice point. They both cut well, I'm sure. Absolutely beautiful, lovely slicers. Now, let's try the weight difference on these. Let's just see what weight they are, because I genuinely don't know. The EXCLUSION is 4.98. It doesn't feel that in hand, but that's a good thing now. And the Medford is 4.2. So the Medford's, you know, for a 1/4 inch shorter. It's and it's thinner as well. So two nice looking knives. You know, they're just plain titanium knives. There's nothing. I do like this extra bit of detail here, but I also like the swedges down the side of that knife. Chris Reeve, a manufacturer who is known for his precision, much like Medford is. Medford is being known, his knives are being known for they're just bulletproof. You know, there's nothing much can go wrong with them because they're made so well. The tolerances in this, are they as good as this? I think they are. I actually think they are. I mean, I always had this thought. This is exactly what I expected a Chris Reeve knife to be like. That feeling, that's what I expected. You see it in videos, but until you get it in hand, it's exactly what I hoped it would be like. Because when you see something like that and you get it in real life, you really want it to be as good as everybody's talked about. This, again, the only problem with this is jamming your thumb in. I've got used to it now, so it doesn't really bother me. So when I open this, it just clicks in. It's beautiful. There is no movement whatsoever up or down. The tolerances seem to be fairly equal. And bringing it down, it just is so smooth. I can't tell the difference in the smoothness. I like the ting of this. If that makes, I'll know what I mean, because we're both like, we like the little ting of a knife when you close it. This has a nicer ting than the Medford. But what it has done, it's let me see, and this is the difference between people who live over in the UK and maybe those that live in America and the places where you get to see, handle and touch these higher end knives. We're most of the time going blind and we don't know what we're going to get. I didn't know whether this would be as smooth as this. I believe it is as smooth as this. And I'm so glad I got to handle this, and I maybe don't want the big one. I'd rather have a small, and that's in my head now. I definitely think I'll go for a small Sebenza 21. That's what I'll probably go for, as a small Sebenza. But I've got to feel it, and I know exactly what I'm going to get as far as the mechanism. Is it as nice as I thought it would be? Very much so. Do I like this? Do you know, it's actually gave me an appreciation more for this now than I had before I had this. And I appreciate this a hell of a lot. I am so glad Al sent it over, because it's taken that. Do you know the way you think you bought something and you could have got better? Well, I don't know whether you do know. I was in that sort of, it's an awful lot of money. I'll maybe trade it and get one of these because I know this is supposed to be good. I don't want to get rid of this now. I'm going to keep this now. But I'm going to get a small Sebenza, just for the simple fact that I love the feel of this. I love the titanium, the feel on it. I love the hydraulic mechanism. It is beautiful. Now, when I get a small Sebenza is when the cows come home. I don't have the money anymore that I had last year when I got this, but there will come a time and I will get one. It's on my radar. So Al, thank you so much for sending me the knife over. I'm not going to do any takedowns. This is Al's knife. I'm so pleased that I got a chance to see this knife, to touch this knife, to feel just how beautiful it is. And I hope you enjoy it every bit as much as I've enjoyed my Medford. I'm going to send this in the pass around, and then you can have a look at the Medford. So there you go. Take care, everybody. A review I thought I would never do on my channel, and I am so pleased to do it. Big thanks to Al for sending that around. I hope you like the Medford as much as I liked yours. And I'm away for a wee cup of tea. To all those who are out there helping us and taking care of us, you're in my prayers, and thank you so much for doing it. Paddy's gone. Tea time.